You totally don't have boxes that you haven't unpacked since moving 2011. I know, right? Me neither. All of mine are unpacked. Welcome, Ashnitz, General Ming, Speculatius. I remember you. Talk more. Okay. Alright. So there is a thing that we did in permissions. I just want to double check. This should be working by default, so... I'm gonna pull Ming into admin, but... so if you join, just be aware that for the sake of fun, there's a couple changes to permissions that are going to be intended, and like, you should just be aware that that's just like the decision. So basically, blueprint importing is disabled. You can make blueprints, you can use blueprints, you just can't import blueprints. So if you go to the blueprint manager and you're wondering like why your library is not there or why you can't use the import button, it's because we don't want people to come in and drop a big badass bomb blueprint that solves Pyanodons, you know? Are you already admin? Talk more? Good to see you as well, Alexarin. Turmstrasse definitely does sound German. Yeah. Yeah, import startingbase.exe. Right, so, yay, stuff. You know, I experimented a little bit with using the ship as a big box and just putting all the assembly machines around it. And it works, kind of. But it also slows you down because you should just start building a bus. Like, right away, you know? I don't know why this lets you, like, starts you with like 500 rounds of ammo. But that's standard, apparently. And then an extra 8 for good measure in the ship, you know? So you'll still see me have my blueprint library because I'm in the admin permissions group, but no, I'm not going to be using it. I just logs. Chopping down trees gives you log. Got wood. Here, I'm curious to see what the description for Pyanodon is. Factorio mods.com. Search for Pyan. Oh, notably, we're not playing with Space Age DLC because Pyanodons is not it. It doesn't use it. Here is the description for Pyanodons. This is the Pyanodons. Pyanodons, yes, Pyanodons mod pack. Official mod pack with all dependencies. You are looking at one of the most advanced and feature-rich mod packs for Factorio. 8+ years of development has created a level polish few other mods can match. Progress through a sprawling maze of 10,000 recipes. In Pyanodons, a megabase is not optional. Completely rebuilds, overhauls every aspect, realistic ore processing to obtain refined metals and alloys, complex oil and circuit processing chains, slaughter millions of aliens. Yay. Support for some Space Age features like elevated rail spoilage and more. Hard and long, but contrary to popular belief, it's not intended to be tedious or grindy. So, yeah. It's not intended to be tedious or grindy, there's just 10,000 recipes. And that's why the stream title is, What Have We Signed Up For? Like, what? What have we signed up for? Fair disclosure, I've only played for about 2 hours just to like get a feel for it. I do find the icons from the Pyanodon mod pack stuff to be confusing and too similar. But that's probably just because I'm not super experienced with it. A planter box. One of the big things that I'm sure people have seen some of with this is that everything makes ash. Like everything. Doesn't, like every goddamn machine has ash as a byproduct. And we have to do something about that. Fortunately, ash stacks to 1,000 and has a rocket capacity of 78. I don't know why. Wait, why is rocket capacity even a thing if we don't have space age? Confusing. Biters are enabled. No, they're not. Biters are disabled by default on Pyanodons. Byproduct of enable feature flags. Ah. Does that mean it's something we should turn off? Yeah, because like we're basically playing vanilla Factorio, right? Launching a rocket is just a thing we can do to waste resources and to quote unquote win the game. It doesn't actually, we don't go to space, right? And yet the game is still really fun. I was telling some of my moderators that while I was doing this randomly join multiplayer lobbies pattern thing, apparently somehow at one point I accidentally joined a vanilla server and was playing for a couple hours, and I said something to the other people in chat like, we're gonna have to turn the bus. There's cliffs in the way. And they're like, what are you talking about? We can just get cliff explosives. I'm like, yeah, but we gotta go to Volcanus for that. And they're like, what? I didn't even realize I was playing a vanilla server. And in my head, I felt like if you're not playing with Space Age DLC, that you are like missing out on so much and it's like half a game or something. And that is not true at all. Factorio is a really fun, cool, wonderful game with or without it. To the point where you don't even realize you don't have it. That said, I do like the space stuff, but... This is native Flora. Do we have... Yeah, we do have even distribution. So raw coal is there. If I just turn some of these logs into wood, then I should be able to use even distribution. This is a shared setting, but I'm gonna lower this down to a smaller number so that we can actually, like, even distribute. I want to change my settings for even distribution also. I really like saying, changing it from evenly distributed to just balance out inventories. That way, it takes into account what's currently in each of the things that you're even distributing to. And it doesn't just, like, take your coal and give a little bit to everything. It considers what's in each individual machine and then balances them. It's a much better setting, I think. Lower this down to like 0.2 stacks, or 0.1 even. Yeah, so it'll automatically put 10 wood in each thing, leaving 20 in inventory. Good. Although raw coal is probably better. Do you even have the Pyanodons hard mode mod? That's a talk more question. Like, I don't think so, but should we? This rock hole mines so fast. The machines get full very quickly when you do this. So, probably not a bad idea to do a painstaking inserter, pulling the coal out type thing. But to make mechanical inserters, not burner inserters, mechanical inserters, it requires small parts. Small parts. Small parts are made out of an iron gear wheel, copper cable, and bolts. Bolts are made out of sticks. Sticks are made out of iron. I see. So until I get copper, can't make any mechanical inserters then. Hey, Daljinsky! It is a mod that makes it harder. Who would have thought? How does it make it harder? I mean, if we're missing out on quality pain, we should probably immediately add it. Probably. Oh, there's a mod that I don't know if we actually have. Called, oh, talk more. What was that crafting queue shortcut to make stuff queue in reverse order? I want to turn that on for me. I had found a mod that allows you to import tool belts. Saved, like, stuff. New task. Add a task. Hard mode adds a lot of dependencies as well. Removes a lot of the possible voiding. So I've gotten a little tiny bit of experience with that. Like I said, I only really tried this out for a couple hours just to make sure that it was something I might be interested in. And my experience so far is that even just doing basic red science, you very quickly hit a point where it's like you're doing vanilla Factorio oil already. Like, there's just so many fluids. These machines, the machines that you use are huge, and they've got tons of outputs, and you have no idea what any of this shit's useful for. So you just pump it into a big, like, what do they call it? We don't have it unlocked yet, most likely, but it's like a pooling tank or pooling something. Tailings, yeah. That's the one. I guess we don't have that one though, because normally this is how it does it. It's actually kind of fascinating. It uses the blueprint library to import your tool belt from one save to another. There's some sort of clever implementation someone came up with where they can use blueprint strings to create saved tool belts. But alas, we do not have it. That pawn gets moved to tier 3 science in the hard mode? Yeah, okay, I can see why that'd be super hard. Because like, what I did when I was trying it for the first time is just, I ended up with like 5 tailing pawns, and I was like, I don't know, just put all this shit in the floor. It's like, you know, Basically, it's like a massive, massive storage for fluid that can hold, I think, like, pretty sure it can hold like 1 million fluid in it. And it says right on it that it might require a pump to get the fluids back out, but 1 million is a lot. Happy New Year. Feel free to join in case you weren't here at the start of the session. This is a public lobby. Everyone's welcome. Password's Ruby, R-U-B-Y, lowercase. So the very first thing we've got here is a wood processing unit. Wood processing unit Mark 01. Here are logs. Look at it go. Look at that. It's even moving the log. Look at that pretty animation. And then into the thing it goes. Sawdust comes out. Can't explain it. Wow. So presumably we're going to have some sort of system to grow trees. I have not gotten that far yet, but... Turn down machine audio a little. What would that be under? Oh. Yeah, I don't... Game effects? Alright. Nope. Unless it doesn't update. Yeah, no, it can't be that one. Environment? Ah, sounds of machines and vehicles, yeah. Better? Yep, you were wrong on the internet. You're gonna have to delete your account. Ooh-wee, it's a lab. The lab is Antoine Plaskowski! All caps. Aluminium ore. Required fluid per mining operation. 10 coal gas. We cannot mine aluminium without coal gas. Coal gas. Feels weird getting one log. Just one. I still have cooperations with Northern Lion. I still have contacts with him. Like I could message him right now if I wanted to, but we haven't done any collaborations in multiple years, many years, probably over 5. Also, because of COVID, I haven't really seen very many people lately. Like the last multiplayer thing that I was invited to was in Milan, right as COVID was about to happen. So it was like 2021 or 2022. And they had to cancel the trip. It was just some sort of, I think it was Slytherin Games, or Slytherin... Yeah, Slytherin was the name of the developer, or publisher. And I was gonna go to a thing in Milan, and it got canceled. And I have not been to the EU4 LAN parties either, so... Yeah, I haven't seen people in a long time. He's so done with complex games. Yeah. I think that he was really interested in it, like, from a play for himself perspective, and therefore he was open to multiplayer and stuff to play, and he had fun, but I'll admit that I was a bit brutal in a few of the campaigns with him. In particular, something about Ethiopia, I did unspeakable things to his country. It was not nice. I was operating under the spectrumed perspective of, if I can, I should. Why not? Like, just because you can means you should. But that's not very polite. Whoops. This base already feels more organized than anything I would have done by myself. Oh, by the way, if you guys, anyone in game, I would heavily recommend doing this. Go press E or whatever, and then over in the very top right corner is this button. This is how you configure even distribution. Go to the very bottom under advanced. Consider changing the G range. The default's 30. I like to just max it at 99 tiles, and what that does is it lets you just do this, and it just, yeah. Way easier than having to like walk across the base, then walk across the base, and, you know, it just puts everything within range. Yeah, Northernline's much more of a, what was that gun game? He plays Binding of Isaac mostly, and then there's some gun game he was really into. Might have even been called, like, Gundam Guns, or I forget, but... Gungeon. Yeah, thank you. That's the one. It's been 5 days in 9 minutes? What? Oh, no. That's the time of day. We've been playing for 29 minutes. Hmm. How many minutes are in a day? In the game? I feel like I knew this at one point. It's related to solar panels, I think. Okay, I'm just chopping trees. I'm not contributing enough. I need to help. Wow. Look at all the crap that you need just to make one belt. Like, well, technically it's two belts, but you know what I meant. Yeah. You've actually been playing for 5 days in real life, you just didn't notice it. I mean, that wouldn't be that surprising, like, if we're being honest. There is... Oh, that's interesting. 0.77 per second? Like, wonder what does that. That's interesting. There's a furnace smelting layout that I learned from doing my joining multiplayer stuff. Let me build a demo of it real quick. It is just so much better than the default one that, like, it's just strictly better. There is no question. Bum bum ba bum. Bum bum ba bum. The typical one, right? Also, that's interesting. Underground belts can go a lot further underground. This is a neat mod for situations where they don't have the standard length, because it shows the output, like how far it could reach. But so everyone, I feel like, I can't make splitters, but everyone's familiar with like the splitter thing where it's, I guess just pretend that this is a splitter real quick. So you've got two splitters facing each other, and then the belt goes like this, right? And then you go underground, and then coal comes in, or fuel comes in from the bottom, or comes in from the top, right? That one is the thing. But it requires for 3 splitters and multiple underground belts. And there's just a much better one that I've learned and now use. In this case, I'll actually just use the blueprint because it's just easier. So that's the standard one. And I'm covering it with my face. This is the better one. No, it's not. This. Blueprint not available yet. I'm actually... Oh. Interesting. I'm not even allowed to use blueprints for the current settings. Won't let me click it. Anyway, the point is you just need one splitter, one underground. And it's the same width. It just takes far fewer splitters, far fewer undergrounds. It's just better. Blueprint library is using a large amount of RAM, 230 whole megabytes. Wow. Confused. Well, that'll explain it. So, yeah, in theory, this is the belt that has fuel on it, and you just have an inserter, and a single inserter can keep up with a full red belt of fuel needs. So it's just a better build. That said, we don't have splitters, so... I guess we gotta use poor man splitters for a long time, which is gonna just be inserters. Right, like run a belt of ore in, and then instead of having a splitter, just do like something like this, and then this one goes that way. This one goes this way, and that's kind of like having a splitter. Not really, but kinda. Might need to fine-tune the number of splitters, or sorters. Sorry, not sorters, inserters, to, Also, this blueprint uses regular inserters. That works. I feel like iron plate should be easier to find than this, but I don't know where it is. There it is. Bum 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 bum. What is this? They're like little Flora. They're flying around collecting plants? That's pretty cool. We can make flying bots already. Why don't we have construction bots? Though. Yeah. We can't use splitters, so we got flying robots with super low tech. It's kind of interesting. Also, why do I have so much raw coal? Oh, I just probably need to tweak my stack allowance. Get rid of it. Better. Right, these mechanical inserters need fuel, though. Oh, no, they don't. Inserters, they're not burner inserters, they're mechanical inserters. They don't require fuel. Somehow. Beefy, does that mean you've played Pyanodons before? And that you've solved it? You got some massive cool blueprints? Use around 10 inserters to saturate one side of a belt. Well, we could just do the math, right? The inserters actually tell you their speed, right? 0.77 per second. Half of a belt, 15 times per second divided by 2. You need 7.5 divided by 0.77 per second. Yeah, it's going to take 9.74 inserters to saturate. Easy peasy. Lost the save to corruption. Damn. That had to be disappointing. So I'm trying to play Factorio in a way that's smarter. You know, I say that every time, but like, I spend too much time placing belts, placing buildings, and then ripping them up again. And I need to spend more time planning and like making sure that the thing that I'm building right now isn't temporary. So, like, is this the right place to smelt iron? Or is this the temporary place to smelt iron? If we smelt iron here and then it needs to get expanded, is it going to be expandable? Or is it going to get, you know... Well, the thing is, like it said in the Pyanodon pack, a megabase is not optional. So I think that it might be even more important to plan well. So if we've got coal here, and we've got stone that'll need to get turned into bricks, copper ore, iron ore, all this will need to get smelted. I don't know, it kind of makes sense to me to build like a smelting area over here. Big long columns, have the fuel supply, have all the resources come in. And then like, think even further ahead, like what if when these initial resources are gone, how can we set up a smelting area so that it's easy to feed in new supply lines? So, I mean, trains, obviously, but, like... hard to plan when the recipes change. Until trains, all builds are temp. Right, but we're not going to have trains for a very, very long time. Is my understanding. I would consider, like... Bum, bum. I guess just not worrying about sidedness for the fuel line is an option, isn't it? You don't have to use the whole belt. What to do with ash? No idea. Put it in your pocket. You should carry it around. Stacks to 1,000, so you can have an absolute crap ton of ash in your pocket and it doesn't, like, matter. Also, there's a setting in Nvidia distribution that you can turn on or off if you want. I'm gonna turn off drop items to machine outputs, because that takes ash out of your pocket and, like, puts it into machines, which I don't like. Because these will eventually fill. You could actually do the math on how long it takes. Every single burnable thing creates ash as like an output. A big ash hole? Oh, really? Hmm. Oh, nice. Brick. Interesting. So, Lab Antoine Plaskowski was built by General Ming, and that is all. We are doing science. We're working on coal processing already, apparently. Needs planters. What are all these buttons up here? Factory planner. Oh, jeez. Is this... factory? Uh-huh. 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 Okay. 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 That's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. An aug paddock Mark IV. A cridron enclosure. So apparently there's something called a cridron, and this has a crafting speed of 0.941176. Because reasons. A workodile. Third generation of a genetic mining creature. What? Sounds like we're playing the Flintstones or something. There are different things on this belt. Ah, we're filtering them out, but it's not able to keep up. Oh, it's a loop, though. Is that ash? Is that what ash looks like, or...? No, it's Keregen. Somewhere between wood and oil. Stone makes Keregen? Okay. Not Keregen like, you know, the part of the swarm, like the badass bitch that, you know, not that one. I assume we don't want these to be grabbing ash. They should just be grabbing brick. Or perhaps they could be allowed to gather both, but then we could pull the ash off. Something like that might work. We do have picker dollies, by the way. Standard keys. Whoops. Very useful mod. Keregen can be a fuel, too. I believe. It has fuel value, 2.0 megajoules. Spent result ash. It's almost as much fuel as raw coal, practically. 2 versus 3. But I'm assuming we're going to want the Keregen for something else. Curry gun. Martin Luther has watched 3 consecutive streams and sparked a watch streak. Nice. That's a new feature, I think, on Twitch. I don't remember seeing that before. Need logs to make small electric poles, but I gave all my logs to the log machine. Wait, does that mean... Damn. You need to chop down a tree. An entire tree for every single electric pole. Wow. Normally in vanilla Factorio, 1 tree gives 4 wood. 4 wood makes, I think, at least 8. It's at least a 2x multiplier when you make electric poles. So that means that electric poles are 8 times more expensive. Why is it that biters are disabled by default with this mod? I'm not complaining, obviously. You have very specific reasons to want... Okay, am I saying it wrong? It is gen as in generate. Keregen? Keregen. Keregen. Got it. I still think it's Keregen. Because Keregen is the best zerg. Zerg is the best race, you can't tell me otherwise. In StarCraft. They're the best. I sure hope we don't have any filthy Protoss players in here. At least. I mean... Terran in a pinch. But Zerg is the best. Protoss, ugh. What's the purpose of having a second inserter to pull ash? I'm using there's a feature we have where you can change the drop lane for inserters. I'm alternating it, so we're already using both sides of the belt. I'm not sure what the purpose of secondary inserters would be. You just remove the filter if you want, and then pull ash later. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense to maybe deal with ash now, and not just wait, and then have the factory stop working later, for no reason. Ash kind of, it almost feels like a, like an early version of spoilage from Gleba. Something very different about the iron ore throughput happening here. So normally, I forget the math off the top of my head, but it's like 48, I think, stone furnaces for a red belt, 24 for a yellow belt. But there's something going on here. It's 8 iron ore to make 1 plate. 1. Not 8 to 8. 8 to 1. Oh. We already have a new recipe that makes it better, presumably? 20 iron oxide into 10 iron plate. How do we get iron oxide? I would like some iron oxide, please. Carbon dioxide, that's wrong. Looks like we don't yet have the recipe for it. Bum bum bum. I have no idea if I'm looking in the right place. What if we do it this way? Go here and then just alt-click. I want to alt-click on this. Alright, 10x iron oxide. It is made in a these. High pressure furnace Mark 1. Wait, what? 5 iron plate mixed with nitrobenzene makes iron oxide? You can also make iron oxide by mixing iron plates with chlorine. So this makes it feel like iron oxide's maybe going to be a byproduct then, not necessarily like a... Looking at in detail at each tech as you research it is the best way to figure it out. Right, but there's multiple people and we're going to keep on plowing through tech without any discussion or... it's just... We're just going to recklessly move through the tech tree and get confused. That's the plan. Wait, there are this many alternative recipes? All of these make it? Oh, wow. Rare earth oxides. Made in a solid separator Mark 01. So if we get rare earth concentrate, we can create iron oxide. Oh, I see. Interesting. Yeah, oh no, I was right. It is a byproduct. The process of making a turd, as you can clearly see from the second line down, T-U-R-D, a turd recipe is we're going to take small parts with steel plate and water to make a saw blade and byproduct iron oxide. So it's like... Playing this in multiplayer for the first time is crazy. I think it's a great idea. That being said, soot, coal dust, iron oxide, and soot. South of the lake going due west? Well, cliffs, I think, are either very, very low or disabled, so any direction bus makes no real difference. We don't have to worry about cliffs. I'm not like a hardcore, it has to be the way I want it kind of guy, so if you think that's a good place for it, man, I will defer. We will need, at some point, like 300 hours from now, to have a discussion about what type of trade system. And that does need to be like a consensus vote type thing, but... The earliest we can get it is from ash separation. Iron grade 4. Lead grade 4. I've already forgotten what screen it was that I saw that new iron recipe. I feel like it was here, but... Here's the go here. Alright, so you're saying that iron oxide can be made with ash separation. Oh, nice. Wait, so we can turn the ash, the problem output, into 5% iron oxide. 50% coal dust, 20% soot. So we can recover some extra fuel then. I assume we can do something with coal dust that will have some sort of megajoules involved, because it's coal. Like unburnt carbon or something. 5% iron oxide's not a high amount, but it's still 50 iron oxide per 1,000 ash. Wrong. 10 ash gives you a 5%. So you get 0.05 iron oxide per 10. So if you were to process 1,000 ash, you would get, if I'm doing the math right, you get 5 iron oxide. Right? 1,000 ash divided by 10 per craft times 5% will get you 5. So not much, what you're saying. Oh yeah, it does say coal dust has 3 megajoules of burnable fuel. No, enemies are disabled in the default Pyanodon resource, like, recommended thing. So there's a setting when you install the mod pack, instead of just having like Rail World, Death World, whatever, there's one that's Pyanodon recommended, and you're supposed to use that because it controls resource generation patches and stuff in a way that is good or something. This is what I do remember getting to. I got about this far when I was testing it, and this is where, yeah, it already feels like crazy-ass oil. Like doing oil for the very first time, except the machines are even bigger. The inputs and outputs are just all over the damn place. And I have no idea if, or even, you know, when or if these things are going to be useful, but like tar. Green gold. So, how, I mean, do we just make, like I tried, do we just make a bunch of tailing ponds and figure it out later? Tailing ponds store liquids and causes lots of pollution by venting gases. You may need a pump to take out the fluids. Storage volume 1 million. Coal dust can be burnt, soot can be separated into various ores. Doesn't that, like, really remind you of Gleba? The idea that, like, you're gonna get all these all these byproducts from the process of doing whatever, and then you recycle those into stuff. Kind of, it just makes me think of Gleba. Belt sorting hell, kind of thing. So to make one tailing pond, need brick. Lots of brick. I can make 4 tailings ponds. But there is something interesting about tailings ponds in that they cannot be shimmied with the Piccadolly's mod. So we have to be very careful about where we put them. They can contain 1 million fluid. And, I mean, I assume that the fluid is going to be useful someday, so we don't want to just, like, place a tailing pond and then decide that we don't want it there and then just delete it because it'll instantly delete all the fluid. And maybe we need that for something. So I don't know where to put them though. You know, it's like I don't know how to do... You don't know how to do an oil setup the first time when you're playing Factorio. You gotta learn it. Ugh, I'm tired. I'm sleepy. Yes. Surely you can pump over the tailing from one tailing pod to another. Yes. You definitely can. But if or when are we going to actually get pumps? For a very, very long time, I think we're going to be stuck just using essentially gravity. Right? Just... And it does seem like they function like gravity. They are not just like a storage tank, like in vanilla, where, you know, oil goes in and then it's distributed everywhere. No, once the fluid goes into the tailing pond, it stays in there. Without a pump. It's interesting, though, that it creates tremendous pollution, it says. Causes lots of pollution. Like, if biters are disabled in the default settings, then why do we care about pollution? Well, I guess I'll just make them, because we obviously need them. Does anybody have any feedback on where we should put the tailings ponds? I almost feel like we should set it up like a fluid bus, like right away, because my prediction is, if this is how many, let's just look at this machine. 1, 2, 3. 3 separate type, nope, 4? That's different. 1, 2. Look at all that. And then there's ash and rich clay as well. So if it's this complicated right from the start, my prediction is that there's going to be a lot of piping back and forth between one processing area and another, and like a byproduct of like the third phase of something is going to end up being used in the first phase of another. It's just going to be a big ass mess, and if we don't have a fluid bus, so to speak, it is going to get very confusing. Actually kind of reminds me of a long, long time ago when I did the Rocket per Patron campaign. I remember making a huge fluid bus because there were just too many. It was Angel's Petrochem. That's what I was. I ended up doing a huge fluid bus, and I also had automated barreling of all fluids because I got fed up with it. I just wanted it, just didn't want to figure out fluids. Well, there's wildlife in the mod, so I assume that biters are either something that we're going to maybe enable via a console at some point, or grow them in a lab or something. I don't know. What's this for? No power. Hey, it's iron oxide. Waste product that can be useful. Indeed. We got ash and rich clay. Rare earth elements are infused in this clay. With so many side products and everything, it might be easier to aim for a logistics system using trains or animals. That sounds like a little spoiler or something there, right? Animals? We're gonna have animals? Where do they come from if biters are disabled? Leafy seems like a resident expert here. We need to harvest his knowledge. It blows my mind how much metal it takes to make transport belt. There's the fact that it takes 8 iron ore per plate. Like, really, really increases the, relative cost of everything. $22 iron ore just to make to craft belt one time. Oh, yeah, sorry, I made 4 of these. Yeah, it is very big. And, like I said, if you use the... You can't just shimmy it around with picker dollies. So if you put it there, that's where it's gonna stay, unless we already have pumps, or, like, a plan to shift... I mean, again, I don't think you can get the fluid back out at all, unless you have a pump. I feel like it's like a... It's a pit in the ground. I mean, just look at it. That is a pit. Visually, how deep it goes. What is Picker Dollies? Picker Dollies is a sub-function of the Picker mod, which was made by Nexala a long time ago. Picker got basically added to the base game. Picker is the thing that says when you put your mouse over something, you can just press Q, and it selects that entity. Picker Dollies was a sub-feature that he created where you could put your mouse over something, and instead of selecting the entity, it would let you move it. So for example, if I do this and then put my mouse over this, I can just use the left, right, up, down arrows to do that. That's the Picker Dolly functionality. When I say that the tailings pond doesn't work with Picker Dollies, it means you can't move it. Right? But like a lot of other stuff like this, I just grab that machine and shimmy it over. I think you unlock them before splitters, but will be able to reasonably do animal things around the same time as splitters. Animal things, huh? Animal flying robots. If you guys are waiting for me to make a decision on where the tailings ponds goes, it's going to be a while. I'm open to feedback. Where do you guys want to put them? It feels like we're already doing oil, and there should be an oil area. We're researching a sinkhole. We're researching steel. Are you... Is there a sinkhole? Is that for real? Oh. Steel processing gives a sinkhole. You found a huge underground cave. Why not dump your unwanted liquids there? 5 offshore pumps. Nice. Well, that makes it sound like we're destroying the thing and never getting it back. I think that we're gonna want this stuff. Probably. Well, if Ming is thinking about building a bus this way, to the left of the thing... Ming is not taking charge, but Ming suggested west of the lake. So Ming definitely took charge. He chose. All on him. All responsibility. Aruma will love the pipe bus. I've already suggested, I think it's important that we do a fluid bus, is what I'm used to calling them. Normally in like base game Factorio, you can get by with just four main fluids on the bus. You need water, petroleum gas, lubricant, and maybe light oil. Light oil, I think, is useful as well, so you can do solid fuel and or rocket fuel. But really, I mean, petroleum gas and water are the main ones. From that, you can do almost everything else, except for lubricant. But in this, it seems like we're probably going to end up with, I don't know, 8 to 16 fluids easily. Look, just build it wherever it feels right. It's so big. It feels like, I mean, look at how big it is. This is just one tailings pond. You cannot mix fluids in a tailings pond. This is the storage chest for this one fluid, and we need to place like 5 of them right now. This is why I'm getting a little overwhelmed, like, I don't know. It's huge. I feel like this whole area should be reserved for power expansion. Maybe we do. We plan on the bus being like over here. And then maybe we just start throwing down tailings ponds like this along the top part of the bus, and then hopefully someday we know what to do with the crap. Kinda makes sense to me. Nominate east of the lake because the water pond belongs with the rest of the tailings ponds. Ultimately, it's going to end up getting pumped and piped everywhere. What in the hell is that? There's seaweed in the water. Seaweed has a speed of 100%. What? What do you mean it's got bonus speed? Don't know. It's fast seaweed. Maybe that affects processing time or something. Just considering how much iron costs, like the idea of putting the tailings ponds down here also is a lot of piping, a lot of pipes, a lot of iron. Can you eat it? Try. How do you normally eat food? How do you normally eat fish? I think you just press the button, right? Or like right click, left click. That doesn't work. I don't think you can eat it. It's probably a, yeah, it's probably a modifier on the actual crafting speed for recipes that use it or something. Crusher gets us a much better iron recipe. 5 iron ore gets broken down into 1x stone and 3x processed iron ore. And then 3 processed iron ore becomes a plate. Instead of spending 8 iron ore, we're spending 5. That is a huge savings. Once again, I want to refer to the stream title. Oh god, what have we signed up for? Right, okay, somebody tell me where to put the tailing spots. Grapthar, is that how you spell it? Put them anywhere? They're so big. That's what she said. You said anywhere, so I'll put them anywhere. I got about this far in my test play, and I know that one of the, like, gases or fluids or whatever that comes out of this first processing stuff can't go into a tailings pond. I don't remember which one it is, though. Pretty sure you can store tar. I think you can store coal gas. Yeah, I don't know. Should have done pi block. Is that like sky block or C, whatever it's called? C block mod with Pyanodons. If we're doing it wrong, just want to mention again, the lobby is publicly open. Anyone can join. Password's Ruby. All undercase, R-U-B-Y. Come show us how to do it correctly. Experts allowed. Wait, that one gave me 2 logs. Apparently sometimes trees can give more than 1. Yeah, that one did it too. Interesting. So, now that I'm back, and now that it's the new year, assuming that I can get EU5 working properly in one of my multiple options to make it work, I am going to be doing that again, starting probably as early as tomorrow. But beyond that, we also have that Georgia campaign in EU4 that I have not forgotten about. It could be fun to return to, maybe once or twice a week. You're out. You haven't done anything yet. You need to do more work. Make the base better. Factory must grow. Don't like the mod. Aw. Sorry to hear that, man. It does feel like it throws you into this fluid situation really quickly. But that's okay. We'll figure it out. Ooh, nice. Someone's automated pipes. Alright, so what is this lacking? It's lacking coal. Why is there no coal? Because it wants raw coal. We need more raw coal. 1 inserter is not enough. It wants 5 coal per second. And these inserters can only do 0.77. So in theory, this thing could consume like nearly 7 inserters worth of coal at once. Do we want that much? Well, we probably should at least get a little bit more than just one. Seems like a big machine to just have working at a very suboptimal speed. Yeah, I was considering just running the belt, like, right next to it. Is there a reason why we're only using half of the fuel line? Other than just it was built that way to start with? Like right here, it seems like we could just merge the two lines and just have a, you know, full fuel belt. I guess it's useful when you don't have splitters, right? Is that why? Because you want to be able to just do stuff like this up here or something? Or is it because of this plan? Having raw coal and then processed coal. Yeah, I find it strange how you can't rotate the... you can't use... Yeah. Burner miner drill cannot be flipped. You can't flip it like you can, like, all the other, like, oil type machines and stuff. And basically in Factorio it doesn't really matter because you don't use burner miner drills very long, but... Ugh. What's not working with E5? I'm still having difficulty with the streaming. Streaming E5 causes an overload on the encoder, and then I drop frames, and then people get mad and leave. People don't like when the stream stutters, understandably. Output full. Alright, so now, while this is running, it can make 1.5 coal per second, which means it definitely needs 2 inserters on the output side. Can't survive with just one. .77 a second times 2 is 1.5, so that covers it. Granted, that would be assuming that it had the full 5 coming in, and it does not. So maybe 1 is enough. No, I need slightly more than 1, because we're giving it 3 per second, which is more than half. Encoder needs to download more RAM. Speaking of RAM, did anyone build a new computer in the last couple months? Because I did, and apparently I should buy some lottery tickets or something. It was the absolute correct time to buy all those components. Apparently RAM is insane right now. I got, I want to say I have 64. Let me double check. Where RAM? Yeah. 64 gigs of RAM. And I think it was only like $200 to $300, 200, 220, something like that. But now it's just astronomical what's going on with RAM and with graphics cards. Yeah, everything that has RAM is increasing, so GPUs are going up in price. Yep. 64 DDR5 cost 160 pounds in January last year, and now it's 900 pounds. Right. Yeah, that's basically what I've been hearing. What do you mean you've been wrestling with RAM bullshit all year? Have you had difficulty? Like, was your RAM not working? Because I've been struggling to make EU5 and streaming play nice, and one of the thoughts has been that the RAM was defective in some way, but I don't think that's the case. I'm like 99% sure at this point that every piece of software, sorry, every piece of hardware that I got for Thanatos for this computer is functioning perfectly. Like, the PC is good. I don't think it's the PC. What is a pound? That isn't a dollar? Should this have filters? Probably not needed, but... Right, so someone had said we've got rudimentary science automated. This is the setup, I guess? We are making planter box. Planter box gets made into... Empty planter box gets made into planter box. Planter box takes ash, soil, and an empty planter box to make planter box. Planter box gets mixed with native flora and some small parts to make automation science packs, which look like they're little coffins to me. These look like coffins. But apparently it's more like a flower. Flowers. High SciPack 1. Logistics SciPack. High SciPack 2. Ace. Huh. Interesting how there's that little oscillation thing in there. Hee, I'm hiding behind a building. Hee, can't see me. We looked into it some more. Turns out the 9800 X3D memory controller is garbage. So, Bolislav, are you suggesting that it is possible that my issue with EU5 and streaming could be related to the 9800 X3D memory controller as well? If you haven't seen the issue, what ends up happening is... I've streamed for like 13 years now, and I almost always use a capture method called monitor capture. Right? Just whatever I show, whatever's on my main monitor, and then there's some overlays and stuff, but like I just show my whole monitor because I often do things like this. I'll be like, calculators, and I you know, I want you guys to be able to see that and whatever, so... Monitor capture, in theory, is more straining on your hardware than using a direct GFX hook, or GLU, or hook, or whatever they call them, and so yeah, in theory, using monitor capture could be causing an issue, but I've been doing it for like 9 years, and my previous PC could handle everything, every game just fine doing that. Makes absolutely no sense whatsoever that a brand new PC can't handle it. And only while playing EU5 on this PC, there will be like a hiccup where the encoder gets overloaded, can't keep up, and then it spikes to 20 to 40,000 kilobits a second when it's supposed to have a bitrate cap of 6 to 7,000. So it goes over the bitrate cap, which is not supposed to be possible, in an attempt to correct itself, catch up. And then stream gets squelched, basically, because it goes above 7,000 kilobits a second. Twitch, the ingest server, says, whoa, dude, hold your horses, stop sending us 20,000 kilobits a second, you're only allowed to send this much. So Twitch cuts the stream, then the encoder catches up, then the encoder and OBS reconnect to Twitch. It's just stupid. It's so dumb. I'm hoping that I can switch. My most optimistic change is that I would like to just, I'm going to at some point stop procrastinating and install Windows 10. And I'm just hopeful that it's a Windows 10 versus Windows 11 issue. That Windows 11 is AI trash and Windows 10 isn't, and it will stop fucking up. The great boss of bosses, I'm doing pretty well, how are you? Feel free to join us if you'd like. We've only been playing for about an hour and a half. 1 hour, 36 minutes. Research finished. In 1 minute. Nice. It's nice having a visual estimate there instead of having to hover up here. Win 10 went stable. From what I'm saying, the main problem is the OS. I mean, I can't tell if you're serious right now or not, but I strongly suspect that Windows 11 is causing problems. Turn off Xbox Game Bar? I don't have Xbox. What are you talking about? Why in the hell is Xbox an app on my computer? Uninstall. Fuck you, Microsoft. Fuck you so bad. Like, this is a PC. This is not an Xbox. It claims it's being uninstalled, but it's not. It's lying to me. Piece of shit. Control Shift Alt L opens LinkedIn. God damn it. Windows G. Ah! That was my autoclick script. Whoops. Windows key, not Control G. Got it. Do more with settings. Oh god, what is this shit? Okay. Rome is a great show. What the hell is this? Why is it installed on my computer? What? I don't want Xbox Social. I don't want Microsoft Edge Game Assist. Do more. Okay, I would like to remove completely. I wonder if it's possible that I've been randomly pressing buttons that, like, make it do stuff. Gaming Copilot. Something went wrong with this widget. Good. So what am I supposed to be seeing here on Xbox Game Bar? Like, I don't want it. Why do I have airplane mode for a PC? What? I'm not gonna take this on an airplane while having it plugged in. Like, what? Why are they assuming that I'm on a laptop or something? They shouldn't make that assumption. It's so dumb. When you enable Bluetooth, Windows wants to share your location with Microsoft. Good lord, man. This is like dystopian. I was pretty certain that Windows 11 was like bad, and I resisted using it for a long time, but I didn't think it was gonna be this bad. Windows settings, gaming, game bar. Game mode? It isn't so bad once you turn off all of the bad stuff, right? Bum, bum, bum. The password to the game is Ruby. All lowercase, R-U-B-Y. So this was something I turned off at one point because it was supposed to help, but I'm not seeing what you're talking about with game bar. Unless you mean in sure. Allow your controller to open game bar. I don't have a controller. Use... No. Rebar is a thing. Yeah, we tweaked rebar using, where is it? I should still have it. We used something called Nvidia Profile Inspector. And we tweaked rebar, or R-bar. R-bar is enabled, and we use this because obviously, as we all know, Red Dead Redemption 2 R-bar size limit. I mean, I play Red Dead Redemption 2 all the time. That didn't fix it, by the way. But, in theory. Yeah, I don't see anything under gaming game bar disable delete make it go away. I too have an R bar the size of Red Dead Redemption 2. You know, no, there's just a much easier way to solve this problem, and that's to install Windows 10 and never look back. I mean, I'm almost to the point where I would strongly consider, like, Steam Deck, or whatever Steam's OS is called, or Linux, honestly. Like, at some point, we have to stand up and protect and defend ourselves, right? We can't just keep on letting fucking Microsoft do this. They need to learn that if they keep fucking with it, we're gonna leave. Optimizations for Windows games needs to be off? Okay, I saw that setting, and it was enabled. You suggest that this should not be on? Yeah, we'll tell you if you know it. I trust you. I've seen your name for years. Be happy to do it. If you're gonna do a virus, just make it a good one though, okay? The biggest issue with Linux has always been gaming support has been my thing. Like, it doesn't if you want to be a streamer, if you want to record video games, just knowing that any software you download, any game you buy, you're going to be able to play it and you're going to be able to record it is incredibly valuable. And with Linux, yeah, there's ways to make it play games and stuff, but like, there's not as much native support for games and drivers and shit like that. And that's always been like the hurdle with Linux. That said, I'm also aware that Linux has historically been much better for a lot of specific features, like hosting Factorio servers, for example. Linux is just better, hands down. But that's because in that instance, the developers, Woob, made sure that headless Linux servers were really, really well optimized, and it was intentionally supported really, really well. Most developers don't care about that as much. Most developers only care about Windows. So that's why I struggle to consider Linux. Yeah, Valve and, you know, the Steam OS, which I believe isn't Steam OS Linux-based, either Linux-based or Linux emulated, or like it's based on the concept of it. It's Arch Linux. Okay. All of the years waiting to scam a Roomba finally coming to fruition. PowerShell. Get-app-apex package. So it's supposed to just look like exactly like that? Like, just copy paste what you pasted? And that's it. Now if I do Windows G, nothing. Cool. That's easy. Does that mean we should go try EU5? Yeah, Windows could very likely reinstall it, just like it tries doing with things like Cortana and whatever. I remember with Windows 10, I had like a bookmark of some website that basically automated the process of removing all the stupid shit from Windows. But I haven't found a source like that for Windows 11 yet. It would be nice to have some sort of consistent automated, like, remove garbage. I realize I've just been standing around for like 20 minutes talking about software and games and Windows without actually doing any work in the base. I'm just not helping. Where is our tin? Yeah, we don't have tin. There's zinc ore, northeast, chromium, raw borax, nickel, aluminium. Are we supposed to have a tin deposit, or is it a byproduct of like aluminum or perhaps the zinc or borax? There's also raw nexolite. Is radar still a thing? Multi-blade fish turbine. Pretty sure this is a power generator. Primitive design for wind turbine, cheap but effective. Average output 550 kilowatts. I guess this is like a power tab. Alternative energy, yeah. Petroleum handling. Well, how much power is that relative to, like, steam turbines? Like, are we actually going to want to try to get heavily into fish propellers? Fish turbines? Each steam engine is 7.6 megawatts. Wow. They can burn fuel so fast that these inserters can't even keep up. Found lead. Native Flora. Lead ore. Antimony. Antimony ore. Well, there's quartz way down there. Well, I guess that there must actually be tin then, huh? There's whoa, titanium. Oh, right, we don't have planets, so titanium would have to be on our planet, right? Who needs radar when you've got red shirts? You need fish to make that. We have fish. There's a fish. We're actually making it out of fish. What? Are we using the scales? For real though, like, what is the deal with the fish? Almost done making one. Where do we get steel? Do we have steel? Limestone. Soil. I'm gonna lean toward, if solar panels are good in the base game, then fish turbines are probably good. I am crafting fish turbine as well. Here, you can have some seaweed. Its speed is plus 100%, but it's also plus 100% pollution, so be aware. So yeah, I've been rewatching Rome. You know, there's a hill I would die on when it comes to Rome. Rome is better than Game of Thrones. That's my hill. Wow, look at that animation. So pretty. So satisfying. Not a very large hill. Well, okay, what about Rome is better than Game of Thrones if you only consider Game of Thrones through season 6? Slightly higher hill. I would also argue that the only reason Game of Thrones exists is because of Rome. Rome proved that the concept was possible. But then they canceled it too fast. Really. Wow, it's a fish turbine. Apparently they can't be placed very close to each other. Wow. This is as close as they can be? Okay. So where are the fishes? Where are the fish in it? Pi fish turbine, multi-blade turbine, 01. Wow. Energy capacity. What does energy capacity 9.6 kilojoules mean? Oh, I see. It's got little... Yeah. I didn't see those before. Is Rome better than The Sopranos, though? I didn't see all of The Sopranos, but I did watch, like, 2 of the seasons, maybe 3. I did not watch it when it was brand new. I was too young, I think, at the time for HBO to be, like, a thing. I don't know about you guys, but when I grew up, we didn't have HBO. We weren't rich, like rich people. We did not have HBO. So. But I don't know why I stopped watching. Why I didn't finish it. So I can't really say for sure without knowing how the show ends. But I think Rome's probably better. Rome had all of the really, really awkward, weird stuff that Game of Thrones did before Game of Thrones existed. You think that Game of Thrones is special because it has brother-sister incest? Wrong. You think that characters can't die? Wrong. Characters die a lot. I'd say that the power from these two is good. Yeah, it's not about the pollution. It's just that, Okay, where is the tin? Do you need tin for something, like, right now? You trying to... like how each of us is walking around with, like, just random hundreds, like hundreds, if not thousands, of ash. Is that ash in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? Hee hee. Why has steel broken? Because no coke. Why no coke? Because this is a chest that's supposed to have coke in it, probably? Where is coke? Coke comes from this whole process, I remember, but I don't know... Yeah, here's some. This machine makes coke, but it doesn't go anywhere. Got it. So we have hand-fed steel right now, is what you're saying. Odd, I can't guess the password. Next time you'll just go down the list of gems. I've already told you guys the source of my super basic password strategy. It's Diablo 2. If in doubt, guess the gems from Diablo 2. Topaz, ruby, emerald. It's just, you know, that's what it is. That's where it's from. So steel is actually quite hard to make. 1 steel plate from 20 iron ore. Right, that's enough to make 2 more of these. Need more fish. Need more brick. Maybe not that much brick. Wow, you can stack up to 1,000 bricks in one space? That is very convenient. Why aren't these working? Why is there... They're completely full of the byproduct because we have maxed out Keregen. Keregen. I've already forgotten Gethys, I apologize. Halil, welcome. So just for fair warning, we started about 10. Plan is to go to about 2, so we got about 2 more hours today, and then I'm going to force myself to stop. We're not going to do 24 hours. We're going to play a bit every day. Is the plan. So be aware. Must go find fish. Where fish? You fish. Need more fish. There are no more fish. They're gone. Wait. It's actually a real problem. How do we force you to stop? Talk more is helping with my executive dysfunction. I mean, I very much have it. It's a real thing. Everyone should be aware of that. Do you struggle to plan your time accordingly and, you know, do things? Because I do. Yeah, it'd be kind of interesting, actually, if, like, as you pumped water out of the water sources in Factorio, if it actually, like, slowly receded the water. And then you had to, like, keep moving the pump. I'm gonna grab a bunch of fish and let them rot in my pocket. Or do they not rot? Fish? while used as a fuel, give vehicle acceleration 120% and vehicle top speed 120%. This is the power of fish. Ooh-wee, wow. Wow, this is a lot of different types of ore. Once again, what have we signed up for? Kinda makes me feel like playing Bob's Mods for the very first time. When you're like, what is Bobmonium? What is, you know, what is rubite? Like all the different ores and you have no idea what to do? That's definitely how it feels right now. Oh, we can make sinkholes now. Yes. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. Let me, save this. Thank you. Alright, apparently the electric company is changing the power meter or something, so power is going to go out for a couple seconds. I'll have to rehost the stream and server in a minute. Better to know than not, but, yeah. With installing fish power. Yeah, so in the interest of not having anything get lost, I'm just going to save again, and then I'm going to shut the stream down until I know they're done. Should be back in a few minutes, okay? Apologize.